Peace, what up, y'all? It is the guy, Anti-Simp, back with a new video. I know I haven't been making any content for a while, but I've been pretty busy with other things going on in my life, and I just kind of uh, I've been kind of observing and just consuming content within the manosphere. I've been checking out some of Kevin Samuel's videos. I've been checking out some of this other guy that came up into my feed, which I'm going to coin him as the grandpa of the manosphere, BGS Emor. I believe that's how he pronounces his name. I haven't heard him say the whole name yet to make sure I'm pronouncing it correctly, but I'm pretty sure you guys know who I'm talking about. Considers himself the black pill, or the grandpa of the black pill community and the manosphere. So he made this video, which is my video as of right now, was a response, or should I say, adding to that video. The video that he made was called "The Wall of Silence versus the Wall of Indifference," and with the Wall of Silence, we were pretty much not really, speaking to or approaching black women for a, relationship level of type of experience. But now is the Wall of Indifference, in which we will probably be friends with black women and laugh and I guess be in each other's company, I guess, or whatever. But as far as like relationships will go, no, it's probably not happening. They will continue to be single and die alone, and there's going to be no more videos. Pretty much, there's probably not going to be any more videos or content coming out to address them, address certain things, or even talking to them about their behavior. It's just going to be accepting them that they're the way they are, and that's it. So since we're accepting them the way they are, there's no trying to date them. When you go on your dating profiles or whatever cases, you might even filter them out of your dating profile, because they are who they are. So, and they're not going to change. We're going to continue to do us and get our shit together. In which I like a lot of stuff that he said in this video. I had already said before, and I made that a comment on his video that this is where we're at. We're at a point where we don't really care what they do. And sometimes I actually encourage divestors to date outside their race, because, we're not going to do it. We're not going to date them or marry them in a serious manner. There's really no point. I mean, there are some black men who are going to hold out on them, but the amount of black men who have, dated out has increased. It used to be like 14%, and now it's going up to I think almost double the numbers. So much more black men are dating out, and they're not going to ever really know, or they're not going to really, based off of how they process stuff that we say to them, they're not going to ever really process it that they're the problem. They are what is wrong. They're not going to ever really process that and accept it, that they're the wrong, and they're the ones that need to fix themselves, mostly because it's too late. I know when Kevin Samuels does his content, he does his videos, he's telling them, and he says things from a point, trying to give them a sense of urgency, if you will, so that they try to get it together. But it's too late. We are the next two generations. After the millennials, you have the Gen Zers, and you have what they call the Alpha generation. The Gen Zers aren't really dating black women like that. They're not trying to be stepdads, because the millennial generation, my generation, put it into being a stepdad. So, we're not gonna. There ain't going to be no more stepdads. That came to an end. So you have Gen Zers who are not dating black women like that, and then you have Generation Alpha who are basically indifferent. They'll be friends with them, but they will not date them. And you just basically see that. You know, you basically see that within relationships that you see, with the interactions that you see. You really just have to observe things with what they say, your third eye. But anyway, I had wanted to add to this video. I wanted to add to the video that a post that I had seen, that I had, I said seen, the post that I had made earlier. There's a post that I made where I said that some black men accept the excuse that white supremacy is the reason for black women's attitude and, you know, how they treat you. But we've been dealing with the system of white supremacy since when we used to be the most married group. Meaning, white supremacy hasn't changed in over 100 years. In over 100 years. Black men accept white supremacy as the excuse because black men don't want to live with the reality that black women don't want them. And another thing, you know, black men have been hoodwinked and programmed. They're convinced that black women are the most loyal, when in reality they can't date out like we can. They cannot change generations of engineering, social engineering, and of their behavior, or should I say indoctrination or whatever. They cannot change that behavior enough to actually gain the attention of white men. That's why it makes me laugh when I see black women saying that they're trying to catch up to us dating out, because there's no just catching up. The vast majority of y'all don't even believe in being submissive. And all men have the same standards. All groups of men have the same standards when it comes to dealing with women, is that they require their women to be submissive. With black men, as I said in a video, black men are easy to date. We require you to be submissive, we require you to be attractive, and we require you to be in reasonable shape. So for you to want to date white men who pretty much put themselves as, the number one most desired in this country, their standards are much higher than ours. And with most of y'all being obese, it is not happening. Y'all are going to be a bunch of Lizzos hoping to land you a Captain America, and that's not going to happen. You know, what I find interesting is that black women say that they're not going to settle, but then they settle for white guys who are pretty much the white version of guys they pretty much said they didn't find attractive or wanted to date. Because they're going to find some way to date out. It's going to be some type of dusty, nerdy, funky looking guy. I don't know who used to say that black women got, like white guys got the best of looking of black women, but that is not true. And I believe whoever said that was probably just pandering to black women, because they also told black women that black guys only date fat white women, when most white women aren't even fat. So black women can't date outside their race, and therefore they are stuck with black men, and they don't like that, and therefore they resent us even more than they already have. In BGS's video, he had did another video before the wall of indifference versus the wall of silence, and he said in the video about us not being conquered, that we were pretty much like put together, like, you know, we were, you know, different complexions and from different places and different areas, and we were pretty much just put together to be bred, you know, which is why we couldn't have been conquered, because they pretty much breeded us. To be conquered is to pretty much destroy, and we haven't been destroyed. We've basically been indoctrinated and, you know, and bred with a certain mindset. So in the video, you know, he talked about the resentment that black women have for us. And he also has another video about they don't want you. So like I said, I've been consuming a lot of videos from the Black Manosphere. He has some pretty thorough things to say. But with that resentment from black women, and they resent you even more that they can't just kick you to the curb and just go date outside their race. Their numbers are not reflecting it. It's not like, when they say 1 in 4 black women will marry, and all of a sudden they just decide, at the snap of their fingers, they're just going to date outside of their race and, get what they want. That's not how things work. Because like I said, most men, I didn't say most men, all men, well, I should say most men, because, some of them then might not be straight, or they might be simps, But even in regards to simps or manginists, they would hope to get themselves a submissive woman. Or, if they're, whatever they're, or not, man. Sometimes these guys don't have the best screws. But the point is, most men would prefer to date women or be with women who are submissive. Submissive, in reasonable shape and attractive. And you have women who are not in reasonable shape, who are not attractive and not submissive, and you just think you're just going to land you a white dude. A white dudes who put themselves as the most desirable world in America, the most desirable in the Western, anywhere that has Western influence, the white men that put themselves as the most desirable. And they tried to put black men at the bottom, but that's not how it works. We are number 2, and we are number 1 anywhere that doesn't have Western influence. So this is not going to just easily change for black women. It's just not going to all of a sudden be able to just date outside of their race the way they want to. So that's where the added resentment is as well. They don't like the fact that they need us. They don't want us, but they need us in order for a biological level. And then for a sexual thing as well. Because let's be realistic. One of the things that other groups of women like about us, like about black men, that black women take for granted, is that 1, they know they're getting the cream of the crop, and 2, they know that our penis sizes. They like our penis sizes, and 3, we tend to have to be in better shape than most other groups. So we listen as well. We listen. We take instead of us dictating stuff, we listen to their input. So those are the things that other groups of women like about us, and these are things that black women take for granted. Instead of realizing that they're getting the very best, they just give you their ass to kiss, and they think that the vagina rules the world, and they're better than you, despite the fact that the vast majority of them are single, and the fact that everything they say to other women is not even working. And if women who are single and younger were smart, they would take into consideration that, where are the results of these women who say these things, who tell you these things? Where are the results? Because they learn to manipulate men at an early age. But once guys start to get wind of it, or they've dealt with it, it doesn't continuously work after college. It doesn't work. The way they learn to manipulate men, all that stuff just goes out the window. So they're stuck with you. They realize that they're stuck with you and they can't go anywhere else, which is also more resentment. But like I said, the hoodwinking is basically convincing black men that black women are the most loyal, when in reality they aren't. They can't date outside their race, so they're just stuck with you, and they resent you. Black men are really more loyal to black women. Black men are loyal to black women more than the other way around. And it's because black men would rather hope that black women would change their ways and love them the same way back. And if black women don't, black men are prepared to die alone rather than to abandon black women for their own happiness. And that's a sad outcome, really. I'm not putting anybody else's happiness above mine. Anyway, this is all the time that I have for this video. If you like it, give it a thumbs up. Definitely subscribe to the channel if you haven't, and I'll catch you guys in the next video. Peace.